Hi, I'm Graven. We are at PH8 in Toronto with my guitarist and buddy Gideon, and this is Beers with Bands.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Tell us what you're drinking.
I am drinking the Brute IPA from Collective Arts, and it's really tasty and different, so I like that.
Nice.
This is the Thornberry Village Damn Dark Lager. It's like quite surprising. First time trying it. Very nice.
And I am having the Bose Whip Beer with Quince. So you guys spend time, obviously, as musicians on the road,
Yes.
traveling from place to place. What keeps you from losing your mind in the van? What keeps you busy? What do you need to pack with you?
Well, today we listened to a 4-hour podcast about conspiracy theories and aliens, so that kept our minds focused for sure. It was interesting and informative and a little bit on the edge. But yeah, we listen to different music. We have a lot of good conversations. I don't know. What do you think, Gideon?
Well, there's definitely like the prospect of a nice beer once you arrive at a destination. That kind of makes the time go by. So
Absolutely. Yeah, and beers and trying beers in different towns that are made by different microbreweries. Always super fun.
And you like to do that, like try new stuff on the road, or do you have like a favorite that kind of reminds you of home that
Oh no,
you'll
I
venture
like
to?
different stuff for sure. I have some go-tos, but I worked for a microbrewery for about a year, and yeah, they're a little bit bigger now in Canada, so it was a good experience. So I always like to try different stuff. Yeah, I love it.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Do you remember the very first beer you ever had?
The first beer I ever had? That's a good question. Probably Sleeman Silver Creek Lager, I would say, from Guelph. Yeah, that was like when I was 19. That was the up and comer that everyone was into. So green box. What about you?
I think it was Black Label.
Nice.
Yeah. Snagging bottles, you know.
Yeah, stealing them from your parents, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Totally pulled the mic away. I'm sorry about that.
18, of course. Yeah.
Do you remember the first ever CD or cassette tape you owned?
First ever CD, I'm gonna say, yeah, was De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising, and I love the flowery cover with the yellow design. And first cassette, I think, was because I was really into rap for a long time. Was LL Cool J, is it Bigger and Deffer? Yeah, I think that was like one of his first records. What about you, Gideon?
I guess like fittingly 40 Ounces to Freedom by Sublime. It's like the first album I went and like bought with my own money. So I
Nice.
think that was kind of good. It was just like I remember that logo with the sun and everything on it, being so intrigued by like the album art and everything. It's pretty cool.
Nice. What are you drinking a lot of right now? Is there, and it doesn't even have to be beer. Is there a go-to cocktail that you're really interested in right now?
I do. I do like a whiskey here and there, but I can't do a lot of hard alcohol. It just doesn't really work with my genetics for some reason. But yeah, I definitely like lagers. I like pilsners. I like the straight up because I find that I do like IPAs, but I find a lot of microbreweries go for the hoppy stuff. So I try and find beers that are like kind of clean tasting, straight up the middle. So yeah, I do a lot of that kind of stuff. What about you, Gideon?
I don't know. Like I've been working in an Italian restaurant for a while, so Campari sodas have like figured largely into my life in the last little while. But often, or like at home, I'll go with like something light, like a Rolling Rock or a Miller High Life or something, just because it's easy.
Nice, light, and crushable.
Yeah, exactly.
Classic.
Right. Exactly.
And your answers are way better than mine. Right off the hop, just FYI. Yeah.
What are you listening to a lot of right now?
I listen to a lot of stuff all the time. I guess I do like a lot of Canadian music. It's just the way that I grew up. I listen to a lot of East Coast stuff, and even people I've met like Joel Plaskett and Matt Mays and Jim Bryson from Ottawa just had an album that came out recently. Megan Nash, who's a friend, she's from Saskatchewan. She put out a record a couple months ago, or about a year ago, I guess. And yeah, I try and listen to a lot of Canadian stuff that's up and coming. But then I also like, Thundercat. Is that the name of the? Thundercat is a great album just for getting your mind out of everything. It's so funky and cool. Yeah.
Some good stuff. Yeah, it's such a tough question. Now that
So if you like pulled out your phone and looked at like the most recently played thing,
might be something either like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard or maybe some Action Bronson.
Frank Zappa too. You listen to him.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, what can't you drink anymore? What have you been ruined? What's
I think like double and triple IPAs for me.
Okay.
I can't. Yeah, it's just not my thing. Yeah, it's hard to when there's so much hops in something. It just like you drink it and halfway through the beverage you have like no moisture in your mouth. Yeah, it's just it's not my thing.
Yeah, dark rum. Yeah, very dark rum. I don't want anything to do with
There's a story there.
Yeah, I want to hear that story.
Right?
We'll talk about it on the way to Kingston tomorrow. Yeah.
And what can't you listen to on the flip side for music? What can't you listen to anymore? Not to say that the musician or the music is bad. What have you overplayed that you just have to put away for a while?
Probably like Def Leppard, I would say. They just were always on the radio in my childhood, and I can't listen to them much anymore. But I still have a huge respect for the band. I don't know if there's like, you mean like a genre or a style or anything
that you're just like,
anything
if
that's
you're
ruined.
it comes on the radio, you're like, oh, change the channel.
Maybe that. Yeah, like Barbie Girl. I feel like that one had its time and went beyond its time. So
natural course.
yeah, exactly. What about you, Gideon?
I don't know. That's a very tough question.
Because you like kind of all music, so I find it hard you would get burned out on something.
I don't know, anything that plays like 4 times during a shift at work, I think is like easily
Yeah, those are
something to
usually
get
the
burned
ones.
out on. Yeah.
Those are usually the ones. Yes. Your 5 dream rider items, like no expenses spared. What 5 things would you like to have on your rider?
Rider, okay. I thought you said writer. I was like, a pen, some paper. Rider, yeah, probably like a really you know what I would like in different places would be like a local beer, and I'm not even saying this because it's like a beer thing, but yeah, a local beer that is from the area where you play, that's pretty like straight up kind of like a Pilsner or a lager or something like that. That'd be amazing, because you just end up, you know, Labatt 50 or Canadian,
Coors
whatever.
Banquet.
Coors, yeah. Which is fine, you know, like we've all done it. You have to do it sometimes. It's fine. But yeah, like that would be a neat item. And then probably just, yeah, like vegetables and hummus, because you don't get enough of that. Like you're just traveling from place to place. We went to a grocery store today, and it's like they're so heavenly on the road. You need those. So those 2 things for me.
You all of a sudden remember how cheap food is normally when you're not just eating in restaurants all the time. So true.
Yeah.
That's $28 for that bowl of soup. Yeah. What about you?
What would you like on your rider?
Like red Skittles
No,
only.
just red.
Yeah, just the red ones. Yeah.
Yeah, is that because you particularly like red Skittles, or just because you will have that power to just suggest that someone picks all the red
He's just
Skittles?
that pretentious. He's
Okay.
pretentious.
I just heard once that it was like a thing to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so lastly, and you both get to answer this question, you get to brew your own beer.
Ooh.
What is the style of beer that you're brewing? What is your secret ingredient? And which one of the songs are you going to name that beer?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. I would say like All Roads Lager or something like that would be pretty good. Just like a straight up like Canadiana sort of Western highway with like but like a little bit of hops in there. So I like a little bit of a hoppy edge. You don't want anything like too boring.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be.
What's your
that'd be
secret
my thing.
ingredient?
A secret ingredient, maybe like a little hint of raspberry in the lager. It's like a raspberry lager.
Nice.
I think it would definitely have to be the In the Woods of Me Scotch Ale, like aged in like an oak barrel casket.
Nice.
Would be like very nice.
Your answers are always so much better. It's ridiculous.
I had time to think about it. I was hoping that was going to be one of the questions, actually.
Oh my god.
Very true.
Oh my
very true.
god.
And what's your secret ingredient, though?
Secret ingredient? I don't know. I might have to do the classic Canadian thing and make it maple syrup or something like that.
Oh, that is a.
That sounds like a really good beer.
I would take a case of that.
Very nice. Very nice.
Coming to stores near you. In the Woods of Me Scotch lager. What was it?
Scotch ale.
Scotch ale with maple syrup.
Very
Beautiful.
Very cool. Well, thanks so much, guys.
Thank you, Heather.
We can find you at Graven.
Graven Canada on all the social media stuff, Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and MySpace, ColecoVision, Atari, Texas Instruments.
AOL account is still going.
Twitch
My
account.
AOL, the Yahoo, GeoCities. Yeah,
Nice.
it's all there. Yeah.
Nice. And you can find us at our new social media accounts on Twitter and Instagram, Beers Bands. We are beerx.ca. We will post all of the links to all of their socials as well in the post below. And cheers, guys.
Cheers.